video, I'm going to cover how to create spotlight or halo eyes, as sometimes they're called. And the technique is really simple. It just means that the outer and the inner corner of your lids are darker than the center. When you are throwing in, the light is going to be in the middle, and then the outer and the inner corners are going to be dark. And then this crease area, you might want to bridge it. Sometimes people leave it, sometimes they just do the dark a little bit out here and leave the center completely white. Now, depending on your eye shape, the center can go a little higher than your actual lid. So it might go a little bit into the crease. Now, if you can see, my lids here are folded. My crease is folding onto my lid. Because if I look up here, I can see it, but when I look directly, I can't. So sometimes what happens is, especially if you have smaller lids, like right now, if you see with the eyeliner, my lid space is so much smaller than my crease space and my brow bone. And what I can do is create the illusion of a bigger space by going a little bit above this crease line by looking straight. Now I'm going to show you the technique. So the two ways you can use is, I'm going to show you a simple eye makeup look with this halo effect and an evening look for a more dramatic effect. Now with this look, to begin, I'm going to start with having an eyeliner on my eyes, because then I can kind of see how far up to go once I apply the highlight in the center. What I'm going to start off with is defining the crease using a transition shade. The palette I'm going to use today is the Too Faced Semi-Sweet palette, and these are the shades, all very neutral and light, and you have some dark, and you have this black here, which is really good to intensify. On my crease, I'm going to go in using Peanut Butter here and Mousse, which is a little bit cooler tone, so kind of in between. And for that, I'm going to use a fluffy crease brush. So first, like I did, is tap in. I see that color. I've already primed my lids and contoured my crease, so then these shadows can go on a lot smoother and blend out a lot easier, especially when I have that contour and transition shade already there. So this will just really blend in nicely in with that one. Now I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush and just diffuse this. The next step is going in to the outer and the inner corner and darkening that out. So I'm going to go in with the next shade up. Now here I can use shimmer or I can use matte. It's up to you. For the matte, so let's go in with a dark color. So I'm going to go in with a matte color, and this is truffled, which is right here. It's like a chocolate brown. So I'm going to mix truffle with pudding. These two are the same way as I did the warm and the cool shade. Now looking straight into the mirror, I can see where the eyeliner meets the crease, and I can just easily go in and tap in the dark shadow just into the outer corner, into this socket here, using the small end of the brush. And then with whatever I have left, I'm going into the front. So just into the inner corner. So I can tilt my head back, place the brush right here, and kind of wiggle and blend down. And then do small circles. What I'm not doing is going right directly into this inner socket. It's just on the lid right here and bringing it down. I'm not going to bring the dark shade into the middle of the crease. I'm just going to keep it into the outer and the inner, leaving the center blank. Now I'm going to go back in with the other first two shades, and I'm just going to blend the edges out. This time I'm going to use the Shadow Insurance from Too Faced Eye Primer. Just squeeze a little bit to the back of your hand and just tap it right into the center. And now go in with a shimmer. So these are the two shimmers that I can use. I want to go in with the more rose gold one, which is this one right here, and it's called Bonbon. And I'm gonna use a small flat shader brush, pick up some of that, and just lightly tap into the center. Just keeping this really simple, right into the center of the eyelid. Now I'm just extending, tapping across, kind of in like horizontal strokes, feathering in the edges of that center to the sides. So when you bring it down into the center, and when you do shadows, you want to place it and pull it, because that's how you get the most payoff. What I'm going to do is lift this so that I fill in gaps. And then I'm just going very lightly across. I'm just using gentle tapping. And now I'm going to go in just with the dark one, just to fill in the edges here. So I'm just going to, again, go into the edges, darkening it a little bit more. And then using the fluffy end of the brush just to diffuse the edges. And that's a nice spotlight. So you can see the center is light and the sides are dark. Now what you can also do is just add a little bit of lighter shadow in the center just to give it a bit more dimension. And with that, I'm going in with Butter Pecan, which is this shade right here, this long shade. It's absolutely stunning. So all I'm doing is just in the center. And that gives it a beautiful dimension, like this. And then just use your finger to just blend this out. I'm also going to use the Butter Pecan into the inner corner right here and bring it a little bit inside. So it's the tear duct and a little bit inside. So it kind of gives me that almond-shaped eyes when you highlight this. And it kind of opens up the front of the eyes as well. Because I have thrown in shadow up here, I want to open it up. I don't want it to be closed because I have small eyes. So I'll throw in a light shade here and here to contrast this dark that is here. And for the bottom, I can mix in the first two shades that I had on the crease. So it's the peanut butter and the mousse. And just stay in the outer half, from the outer end of the lower lashes to the middle. Now I've lost a bit of the eyeliner because I went over it with a shadow. So you can now go and apply eyeliner. So I'm going to use the pen because it's a lot easier. So fill in the gaps here where you put eyeshadow on top. And now I just want to define this and smoke this out a little bit. So I'm taking a little flat shader brush and I'm picking in some of that black. This is where I intensify the liner a little bit. So I'm just going along and tapping this along the edge of that liner. Really just scrape it back and forth like this, very small, gentle strokes. And focus mainly on the base of the liner from the outer corner and the inner corner. That really intensifies the eyes. And now just apply mascara. Spotlight eyes could be for a day glam, or if you prefer an evening glam with a simple look, that's how you do it. Now on this side, I'm going to show you how to intensify it for a very dramatic spotlight halo eyes.